Good afternoon, class. In this video today, we are looking at quantifiers. So quantifiers will show how much or how many of a noun. So quantifiers, definition of quantifiers from the textbook ESL Grammar 320. Quantifiers state the number of or amount of something. Quantifiers can be single words or phrases. There are 40 people in my calculus class. I'm spending a great deal of time studying. Quantifiers are used with both nouns and pronouns. I'm taking 6 classes this semester. All of them are challenging. Quantifiers are often used alone if a noun or pronoun has just been mentioned as in a question. Have you made many friends here at school? Yes, I've made a lot. So just kind of taking a look at the different sections here. So quantifiers with nouns, some singular forms of quantifiers. Let's see, um, singular count nouns. So one, each, and every. Singular count nouns will have to be things that often are would have an article a or an, right? So things that are countable when they are singular, referring to one, a, a dog, and apple, right? These are things that we can count physically, one, two, three, four, five, six. And then they also have a plural form, meaning that they end in S. So dogs, and then we have apples, right? The article a or an signifies that this is one. The S shows that it is plural. Now, with quantifiers, it again answers the question how much or how many. And so for singular count nouns, you've got one dog, each dog, every dog. Okay. And so, of course, um, these are very similar but different, right? And so, also with plural count nouns, these some of these quantifiers now, right? So if we're using the same word, dogs, uh, two, both, couple, couple of, a dozen, several, few, many, a great many, a number of. All of these can be used, and it would have to be the plural form, right? So dogs, both dogs, two dogs, a couple of dogs. Um, this again shows how many dogs. A dozen would be two. Some of these words are not specific numbers. They are more expressions, right? And so a great many, I've personally never used this one. A number of dogs. This again, some of these phrases are not exact numbers. Several could be three dogs, six, seven, eight. And so um, an example of that would be I was running and then a number of dogs chased me, right? And so I don't know how many exactly, how many dogs chased me, but a number of them chased me. I looked back and I saw maybe 5 dogs chasing me. It looked like a lot. And so that sort of paints a visual picture of how many dogs, right? And so these cannot be used with non-count nouns, right? And so unless they have a measurable form, right? And so in the past video, I believe we talked about a coffee or coffee, sugar. These are not countable, right? But sometimes a coffee, it is used as a countable form because it has a container, right? A cup of coffee. And so grammatically, it's a little more difficult to understand. This is technically correct, but usually coffee is viewed as how much coffee, right? Not how many coffees do you want, how much coffee would you like or do you want? And so when it is something non-countable, two coffee would technically be grammatically incorrect, but in this case, it's okay because it is viewed as a cup of coffee, which is countable. So hopefully that doesn't confuse you, right? But something that is definitively not countable, right? For the most part, air, right? You cannot use these words with something like air or dirt, right? To dirt, uh, and then of course the plural form would be dirt, which is incorrect. Okay, so these do not work. They have to be a countable form, something with a grammatically ends in an S, something that is you can count, right? Something that is physically able to count. You cannot count air. You can measure how much air, right? But that's why that is considered non-count. And for words that are non-count, like air, there are some forms such as a little, much, a great deal of, amount of, and a bit of. And these you can use with words like air. Of course, they don't have a plural form, or they don't end in s. So amount of air, a bit of air, a great deal of air, much, little, a little. Very, I would say from little, that's going to be the least amount as far as non-count. And then most, sort of working from bottom to top, right? So I would say, again, and these are not exact, but to just visualize, right? Least would be a little, and then kind of increasing to the most, a bit of, okay? And then the last one for quantifiers here, some of these can be used for count and non-count. So no dogs, right? If it's something countable, it has to be the plural form. No eggs. You do not use the singular form, right? No egg. But something obviously that is non-count doesn't have a plural form, so it does not end in an S. Things that can be counted, right? Like apples, right? One apple, two apple, three apples. When we are using these quantifiers, you have to use the plural form that ends in an S, right? So, of course, these words, again, they can be used with non-count and count. Here are non-count, so a little apples does not work. These only work with non-count on the left side here of the video. So dirt, air, love, soil, grass, money. So these types of words that don't have a plural form generally are considered non-count. Okay, and so these are just some examples of quantifiers. I will be making another video to sort of look at these other grammar rules. Okay, and so that will be coming shortly. Kind of like to divide these sections up in videos. That way they're a little easier to watch and find as far as the content. Okay. If you have questions, please email me. Yeah, any questions, please email me. Thank you very much. Have a good day.